Welcome everybody to the next iteration of our quarterly webinar series, the Meraki Quarterly. We're excited to have you here and to share some of the exciting things that are going on here at Meraki. So we have a tight agenda for you today. I'm going to kick us off with a Cisco Live recap and Meraki's presence at Cisco Live. I'll pass it over to Nicole for some access networking updates. Then we'll move into the WAN and IoT side of the business, as well as the API and marketplace. A brief announcement on kind of what's coming with the next generation of the Meraki dashboard, and then time willing at the end, we will reserve that extra time to answer any unresolved questions. For those of you who have been on this before, a couple things to note. First of all, questions during the webinar, where do you ask them? There is a Q&A tab on the WebEx, and there's also a chat tab. So chat is kind of for your, I want to talk to everybody, I want to make a comment. Q&A is kind of more for the specific questions that are related to the information you're going to see here today. So please do use that. We have experts that are monitoring that chat and will answer in real time. In terms of roadmap, this is not a roadmap zone. So this is a look back over the important developments over the previous quarter. That's kind of how we rock it here in the Meraki Quarterly. So we will not be talking about future developments or roadmaps or plans. And as Lisa mentioned previously, this will be recorded, so we will send this out in the next couple of weeks. We're doing a little bit of a format change here to the Meraki Quarterly. We're doing a really good job with these. We have a 86% customer satisfaction score with the Meraki Quarterly series, but we want to continue to improve. And one of the things that we've heard from you is that we have a lot of products at Meraki, and an hour sometimes feels like not enough time to be able to get really valuable information on all the topics to the depth that you want. So in response to that feedback, we are changing the format of the Meraki Quarterly ever so slightly. We're cutting down on the overall agenda, so you're going to see less in the way of total number of updates during this session, but we will be supplementing this meeting with screencasts that will let us go deeper into other topics. So again, the idea here is to make this live session valuable and to share the most important updates, but then also be able to let you go a little bit deeper into some of the updates that maybe don't rise to the level of making it to this meeting. So all important updates, and we'll be sending those out along with the recording for this session. All right, so let's kick it off. And the first thing we're going to talk about is a Cisco Live recap. Now, I know Cisco Live has been virtual in the last few years, but we were actually able to make it back in person to Las Vegas for Cisco Live Americas. And I was there. It was great to be there. It was a little bit weird being in a building with all of those people after 2 years, but it was great to see all my colleagues and all the customers that are using our products every day. So we had over 16,000 registrants at the event. The biggest kind of headline for the event was the announcement of cloud-managed Catalyst access products. So this is a pretty big strategic pivot for Cisco in terms of enabling on-premise customers to move their networks incrementally to the cloud, and Meraki is going to be the platform that is powering that migration to the cloud. So we're really, really excited about that, and by far and away, it was Meraki's strongest presence at Cisco Live that I've ever seen, and I've been here for 7 or 8 years. Another term that we saw analysts, it says they coined the term in this slide, but they didn't really coin it. We've been saying Merakification for 15 years at Meraki, but it's nice to see Forbes using the term and using it to describe how Cisco is kind of advancing their networking business. So there's a couple articles there, one from Forbes, one from ESG. It was a really, really successful Cisco Live for Meraki. So any of you that were there or visited our booth, thank you for doing that. And yeah, it was a really great showing for Meraki as a business unit. So with that, I'm actually going to hand it over to Nicole Gallo. She is the head of our Access Networking on the product marketing side, and she's going to talk to you about some updates to Access.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jordan. I really missed Cisco Live. It was so fun. It was my first one. Yeah, hi, folks. I'm Nicole Gallo. I'm the product marketing lead for our Access products. Our Access products are switches, access points, and systems manager. I'm joining you from the obscenely hot state of Texas, where I was wishing I could manifest my cloudy announcements into my physical life because it's just really crazy. But I don't know that you're here for a weather report, so we can move it along. So everyone's here, you're a Meraki customer, you're a partner, you work for Cisco or Meraki, and that means you get it. Cloud management is awesome, but bear with me here as a marketer that loves sharing messaging with anyone that'll listen. You can connect from anywhere via the cloud, truly anywhere, and you just need access to the Meraki dashboard. You can automate smart, secure, and sustainable workspaces and adapt to evolving needs and emerging disruptions in your business. We don't want IT to be seen as just a place to fix problems, right? So that's important. And last but certainly not least, when you're utilizing cloud management platform, you can reduce your complexity and cost at a global scale. Everybody likes saving money. So thank you for listening to my TED Talk, and we can move on. Okay, now we're getting into the good stuff. And like Jordan mentioned and or stole my thunder, last month at Cisco Live in Vegas, we announced that we were taking a massive step forward by bringing the Catalyst 9000 switches into the Meraki dashboard for the first time. And if y'all didn't see Todd's announcement live, I really recommend going back and listening to it online. It was awesome. Like, I'm still just excited about listening to him. It was so cool. But right here, this is high level. We're bringing together the #1 platform for cloud management networks and the #1 in networking hardware. Boom, like that's it. That's the announcement. I know some of you are thinking, oh man, this is really cool. This is great. And others are thinking, hey, I've been waiting for this for a decade. But either way, here we are, and we're moving forward with it. The next slide. And this is the messaging and general idea that we're taking forward. So it's your IT operations model your way. And if you're noticing a trend throughout these slides, Catalyst is typically going to be in blue and Meraki is going to be in green, so you can follow along. And here, we're not asking you to pick a favorite. We're giving you optionality and flexibility. You can choose on-prem, you can choose cloud, or you can choose hybrid, which is probably what most of us are working in these days. This gives you the DIY flexibility if you're on-prem for all you CLI lovers that can't get enough of it. And then you can be in the cloud as well on the Meraki dashboard if you just want the simplicity, the next to zero touch deployment. It makes it easy for everybody, and it's all on this converged Catalyst hardware. Next slide, please. So cloud monitoring for Catalyst delivers a unified view of your Cisco network, your infrastructure, device health and troubleshooting, and the network client and traffic information for iOS X devices from the Meraki dashboard. And no, when monitoring your Catalyst switches in the Meraki dashboard, you're not losing your CLI management capabilities. I've been on several of these webinars explaining this, and even in person at Cisco Live, and I think that's the main question I get asked from Catalyst customers. Am I going to lose my CLI? No, you are not when you're in monitoring mode. So if we move on to the next slide, we can dive a little bit deeper, and these are the supported platforms and software. So the Catalyst 92, 93, and 9500 models listed here can be monitored in the Meraki dashboard today. And your firmware needs to be iOS XE 17.3 and newer. You need to have a DNA Advantage or Essentials license. But the best part about this is for the first year, you get free Meraki Cloud monitoring. I mean, truly free. It's not too good to be true. Free today, right now. Next slide, please. Thank you. And just to go over some high-level cloud monitoring capabilities that you have as a Meraki customer, as well as being very beneficial to Catalyst 9000 customers that would then be using Meraki dashboard. First and foremost, you get a centralized view of your entire network. This is true visibility of your Cisco devices, whether Meraki or Catalyst switches, from the same dashboard. Then next, you can monitor Catalyst connectivity and health from the dashboard with real-time switch and port health. And then the third one here in the middle is remote monitoring, and it gives you powerful live troubleshooting tools to identify and correct issues from truly anywhere, anytime. And then the next one over is that you get full app visibility. It makes it easy to understand valuable network resources and how they're being used. And then the last one on the right there, which is my personal favorite here, is the network topology, which is monitor devices and their connections in a unified and dynamically generated topology diagram, which hindsight here, I wish I could have shown a demo because it's really awesome to see. I'm sure a lot of folks here have seen the network topology, but I love showing it. It's just really cool. So come back for a demo next time. So just this is kind of the last part of this section, at least. If you're a Catalyst customer, have Catalyst customers that are, let's say, cloud curious, ready to dip a toe in, here's how you get going. It is so darn easy. You go to documentation.meraki.com, you make a short little scroll down to the bottom right, I believe, bucket that says Cloud Monitoring for Catalyst, and you follow the easy instructions. You're going to be on your way in no time. Unfortunately, I haven't done this myself since I don't have any Catalyst switches, but like I said, I had the pleasure of being at Cisco Live, and truly the day after Todd's announcement, I had 9 different customers come up to me and say, hey, I already put my Catalyst switches onto the Meraki dashboard, and it's awesome. And all I was trying to do was survive the trade show and try to get some sleep, and these people are already putting their switches onto the dashboard. It's really cool. Next slide, please, and next section. So you still get to listen to my wonderful voice for this section. We're going to talk about Wi-Fi 6E access points. So another equally important announcement made at Cisco Live is the unified Catalyst wireless hardware. See, it's beautiful. It's on the screen right now. It's amazing. And on the next slide, we'll dive into this whole dual persona thing. So these new access points can operate in 2 personas. This is either on-prem managed APs via the 9800 controllers and DNA Center, or as cloud managed APs in the Meraki dashboard. And if your needs change over time, these access points can be migrated between management personas. And on the next slide, there's truly one access point. Well, hopefully not one access point. I hope y'all are ordering a ton of access points, but one common hardware. And then you order the domain-specific SKU for on-prem or cloud management, and then voila, you're on your way. You can see on the right side here that each SKU comes with what you're used to for options that are typical to that SKU with support from the Catalyst pack or Meraki, depending on the SKU that you ordered. And moving on further, these are high-level benefits. So this is Wi-Fi 6E, and you're getting the best of both worlds with the converged hardware scenario. You're getting the Catalyst brackets, DC power, USB ports, LEDs for each respective persona, and the unified architecture. And to note, all of these APs are indoor only and internal antenna only today. There aren't any external antennas or outdoor versions available yet, but again, this is not a roadmap discussion. As well, the environmental sensors will be supported only in the DNA persona. But on the next slide, we will take an even deeper look into these beauties. So this slide, there's a lot going on, so bear with me here. There's on the left-hand side of that bar, there's the 3 new CW APs. And the high-level points to make here are the CW 9166 and 64 are orderable right now, so go get them. The 62 is coming soon, so stay tuned for that announcement. And I wanted to make a note as well. Notice the colors again, blue and green. So the CWs are the common platforms. That is, you can have Meraki persona, DNA persona. Those are the ones that are on the left that have the rainbow colors behind them. Then if you look on the right-hand side, this is more of our Wi-Fi 6E portfolio that we announced in the last Meraki Quarterly, but these are not convertible or migratable between personas, but they are still wonderful APs in our 6E portfolio. So again, left side is what we're talking about today, CW access points. And my last section, let's talk about our latest Wi-Fi innovations. So we just released the MR29-1.1 firmware, which includes all the glorious screenshots on the slide. So starting at the top left, if I'm picking my favorite kids here, which it is, this is mine. WPN is really cool, Wi-Fi personal network. This is a home-like personal network, and really fun new functionality that we just launched, and we are in public beta, so check it out today. We have a ton of information on this on our community as well as on the documentation site. This is great for higher ed spaces like dorm rooms, senior living facilities, hotels, and shared spaces, you name it. It's an easy solution to deploy and manage while you're also addressing things like user privacy and security concerns at the same time. And then next is our band steering enhancements. We're optimizing performance in high density and large campus networks. And along with that, we have client balancing enhancements that provide improved metrics for passive client balancing and intelligence for active client balancing. And then in the bottom row here, we have mesh enhancements. And then next to that is my second favorite child, which is the IoT support with USB. There's a ton of use cases around this, so please go check out the documentation site. Like I said, we have new partners that we're working with in the ESL space. And yeah, I'm about to nerd out about this, so I'm going to move on. But last and certainly not least, bottom right is the enhancements for IPv6. And like I said, there's a lot more information on the firmware release on our documentation website, as well as on the community. And you can go on the community to learn more. You can also join the community to include yourself in the conversation and be part of that and teach other people. And I can hear our community manager smiling at me from across the country right now for doing that little shout out. So, all right, I did it. I'm going to pass the ball over to my friends in the WAN group. I believe that is Pratik and Simmerbeard. Take it away.
Hello from sunny and windy Chicago. I am Pratik Desai, the product marketing manager for hybrid cloud and hybrid work.
Hello, everybody. I'm Simmerbeard. I am part of the product management team, and I look after virtualization and our VMX product.
And we've got our head up in the clouds. We want to give you guys some really exciting updates with wide area networking. On this next slide, we've got some really cool information for you just in the quick of time. Your favorite cloud on-ramp just got easier. So our latest innovation in the marketplace is Quick Start Meraki VMX with Amazon Web Services Cloud WAN. If you're using any sort of multi-region computing in Amazon Web Services, Cloud WAN was their latest product announced on July 12th, and it unifies AWS across regions into a single network. Quick Start VMX integrates AWS Cloud WAN with the Meraki platform. And the end result is a unified SD-WAN fabric that extends to the cloud with simpler cloud networking. On this next slide, I'd like to talk a little bit about what exactly is a Quick Start. We'll do our best to make you cloud. A Quick Start is an automated deployment tool and resource created in conjunction with Amazon and its partners, in this case, us. What it essentially does is it shrinks thousands to hundreds of manual steps down to a few. And the key unlock here is there are a number of other organizations doing the exact same thing you're doing with cloud computing, stitching together with the SD-WAN fabric, so you get a lot of community support as well. We think this is going to be a game changer for organizations looking to adopt cloud or enhance their architectures, move workloads to the cloud, but really just find easier and simpler ways to do networking. So on this next slide, we want to talk about taking you to the edge, every edge. And if you're wondering, is Quick Start VMX for me? Well, if you are managing multiple vendor solutions, both cloud and on-premise with SD-WAN, if you are dealing with the issue of managing different security policies, both in the cloud and on-premise, you don't have a secure automated IPsec tunnel between your resources, just a ton of complexity and cost, the Quick Start VMX is for you. Not only does it enable unified resource management and policy management, but it also helps you get up into the cloud faster in minutes. If you need to spin up new resources, again, you can do it in minutes. Quick Start is there to automate this entire process for you. It can also very quickly open up brand new experiences for you. If your organization is looking to open new locations, new pop-up sites, you want to connect new resources, or you just want to minimize and reduce architectural complexity and optimize on costs. So looking ahead, we have a lot of exciting new features coming ahead with the VMX, and we hope you'll stay tuned with our updates. On this next slide, just to hit this home, if you have any questions about VMX, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Check out our documentation on documentation.meraki.com. We have a web link to it on this slide. And if you would like to actually just try out VMX, go ahead and click on this link. We'll get you started for free. The idea here is that if you're running a data center and you're running in the cloud and you want to learn how to stitch these two together, VMX is the solution for you. And we think that Quick Start VMX, especially if you're on AWS, is the compelling solution that you are going to want to use to work in this framework. I'd like to hand it off to my friend Simmerbeer in sunny San Francisco, and he's going to walk us through a demo of what this looks like.
Awesome. Thank you, Pratik. Can you go to the next slide, please? So before we jump into the demo, a quick overview of what we'll be showing today. So the topology that we'll be deploying today consists essentially of a pair of VMXs deployed across different regions, so US West 1 and US East 1 on AWS. Each region has the VMXs deployed in a redundant and HA manner across two different availability zones. And these connect back to AWS's global backbone or the Cloud WAN network, where they will be talking to a dedicated segment called SD-WAN segment where all the route exchange would happen. In addition, we will also deploy a Lambda that will enable route exchange between our branch sites and back to the AWS network. Go to the next slide, please. So let's get into the demo. Like Pratik said, all of this is automated through Quick Start, right? So in terms of just deploying it,
Margaret, looks like I'm having some issue with the video. 1 second here.
okay.
There we go.
Awesome, perfect. So in terms of deploying that architecture that I showed, right, all of this is automated end to end. So all the customers need to do is go to their AWS console, go to the CloudFormation tab, and we already have this pre-configured, right? So go ahead, input a set of parameters that are required, select which regions you want to deploy the instances in, and that is it. We'll do the end-to-end deployment for you. As you see here, all the resources are deployed in a particular region. You can, again, replicate that across different regions. And then after the deployment's done, the next step is go to our dashboard, verify everything is working as expected. So we see all the sites and networks are up and running. I go and check the VPN status. We say that auto VPN is established. We've connected to our hubs on AWS. All the appropriate subnets or the local subnets are getting exported. Next, let's check if my sites are actually learning routes from AWS, right? Here we see that the 10.200, 10.100 subnets are actually being learned from AWS. And everything seems to be working correctly, right? Finally, let's go to the console. And we actually indeed see that my US West region and US East 1 region are connected successfully. So it's as simple as that, guys. No need for any manual configuration. All we need to do is go deploy a couple of CloudFormation stacks, and we have end-to-end deployment and connectivity established. And with that, I will hand it over to Lola for some IoT updates.
Thank you, Simabir, and hello, everyone. I'm Lola, and I'm the product marketing manager for MV Cameras and representing for the IoT team today. So for the next few minutes, let's go back to Cisco Live. I want to share the power of Meraki IoT and how it optimized the coffee experience at Cisco Live. So while the image on the right looks like a simple coffee station, it's indeed equipped with a complete Meraki IoT solution, harnessed by the strength of our ecosystem partners to create a more intelligent space. With 2 MV cameras positioned, one camera was dedicated for custom computer vision to detect cups, and the other was used for tracking occupancy, so sending alerts for if any crowding. And then there were empty sensors, which were discreetly positioned to provide complete visibility into the digital and physical environment, the open, closed door sensors, and for fridge temperature monitoring. And just for perspective, this was all put together in a matter of days. And in highlighting our ecosystem partners, Cognac's visual platform was used to train a model to detect cups, while MPro 5 ingested the custom CV and object detection data from the MV cameras. Altogether, everything gathered from the cameras and sensors was visualized for application, which brings us to this slide. With our ecosystem partner MPro 5, here we can see a visualization of all the data collected. In this single dashboard, you can access data real time and also see customized alerts. And in this case, you might see the red text on the right if there was any crowding. So in all, we see just how easily Meraki IoT can be deployed and immediately add value to your business environment. Along with ecosystem partners, we can leverage data from Meraki IoT to achieve very valuable outcomes with minimal infrastructure. Thank y'all, and I'll now pass it on to Anna.
Great. Thanks, Lola. And thanks for all the shout outs to the ecosystem partners. We love MPro 5 and Cognac, and to see that live in person and meet with the team at the Cisco Live event at the booth right next to them. In fact, my booth was right next to the coffee cups. So I like to think that everybody was coming to see me, but they were actually really going to get coffee and get data analytics. So all good. Anywho, so thanks again. I'm Anna Nenig. I'm the Solutions Marketing Manager for Ecosystem, coming to you from Green Bay, Wisconsin. So for all of you who are wanting a weather alert and you're dealing with the heat, come on up to Wisconsin. It is 76 degrees. So, and I know Pratik in Chicago is probably dealing with some similar milder temperatures as well. So all good. This is your weather report, folks. So all the work that I'm doing is behind and in front of the scenes for Meraki Marketplace and all of our developer communications and APIs. And the first thing I wanted to talk to you today about is the introduction of our Meraki webhook integrations. This was a really exciting quarter for us. I'll tell you a little bit more about those the webhook integrations. Customers can now import alerts into Slack, WebEx, and Microsoft Teams within a simple dashboard flow within the dashboard. So all of these integrations are being built by our API team, and they're using the technology that we're calling the webhook payload templates. This technology is open to all customers and developers, so it's very community-built webhook integrations. And what this means for you is that there's now a myriad of other templates that are built and maintained by the developer community that our customers can now use by all of these integrations that you already know, love, and support. Folks like Jira, Datadog, PagerDuty, Discord, and Splunk, sorry, just for starters. So what does this also mean to you? Customers can now build their own templates and start importing Meraki alerts into their platform of choice today. So one of the things that we're really proud of is that we've had already more than 1,000 customers activating these integrations since its launch earlier this quarter, and it's growing daily. So they have 3 quick call to actions for you here if you're interested in learning a little bit more about them. Our technical engineering team put together this really great blog that you can find, handy QR code here. You can go to the blog and read about it. It's Corey's vision of what the webhook integrations are all about, so you could get really digged in deep and kickstart your journey with this. You can also get into GitHub and dig in and toy with the templates and take them for a spin yourself. And then finally, you can go to our webhook page where you can really get knee-deep into all the details on the webhooks. I'll go to the next slide, please. So our next slide is about our ecosystem and the marketplace. And it was funny to hear Nicole talk about our favorite children, because this is currently one of my favorite children of the 250 apps that we have that are designed by over 95 technology partners on the Meraki Marketplace. If you haven't been to the Meraki Marketplace and you haven't found an app, then you need to come to me and we'll make sure to get that app on there for you, because there's plenty of challenges that we can solve for you. But at a high level, the ServiceNow Connector app allows your customers to seamlessly integrate their Meraki and their ServiceNow platforms. So the app also syncs your customers' Meraki organizations, the networks and devices within the ServiceNow Configuration Management Database, or as we call it, the CMDB. The app also creates and manages incidents and alerts from Meraki devices in ServiceNow. So what does this mean for you and for all of our customers? It means separation into simplification for easier, faster, and much smarter IT. We'll move on to the next slide, please. This is going to be a really unique strategic way to unite your IT operations with the ServiceNow platform if you're on it already, and I know many of you already are. So it's a hugely popular app, and it's a really great example of how customers are connecting their digital business with Meraki's innovative technologies. So if you want to learn more about the ServiceNow Connector app, I encourage you to visit it. And more importantly, go download a demo or request a demo. It's a really great way to get hands-on, not only with ServiceNow, but for any of those challenges that you have that you're supporting through your products or through your areas or your industries or your experiences. We have an app for you. So please visit us at apps.meraki.io. And with all of that, thanks. And I'm going to pass the mic back over to my partner in crime, Jordan, to talk about Next Gen Dashboard.
Yes, I'm Anna's partner of crime, here to aid and abet her and tell you about the next generation of the Meraki dashboard. So some of you may know about this if you're power users or day-to-day users of the dashboard. This has been in early access for several months now. So it's an optional thing to take advantage of now, but this is the direction that we're going for the future of dashboard. And although I think it's aesthetically really, really pretty, and I think it looks great, this is much, much more than just simply a UI refresh or a coat of paint on dashboard. It's a complete re-architecting of the information architecture, how we surface alerts and telemetry, and how the overall workflows of dashboard are designed. So this is available today, as I said. We originally had, I think we had a goal of, what was it, 4,000 networks to opt into this, or 4,000 organizations to opt into this. I think we're somewhere close to 100,000 right now in terms of people that have opted in. So customer higher than that, Anna? Okay, cool. So lots of people have taken advantage of this. Again, like I said, it's in early access. The first things that you're going to see are the magnetic design system. This is the design system that powers how dashboard looks. This will be present across all the dashboard pages that you use. And we also have a new landing page experience that will, and you can actually see that in the bottom right here. The organization summary page has been redesigned to make sure that you understand at a high level all the devices and their statuses and your uplink health across all of your networks, no matter how big your organization is. So those are the immediate changes that you're going to see. This is part of an effort to magnetize, as we're calling it, is the verb we're using, to magnetize the entire dashboard to make it easier, faster, more intuitive, and more focused on helping you solve problems. So what's coming soon? We're going to have a net new page called the Global Overview page that will be launching soon. This is geared towards managed service providers. So those customers that have more than one org and potentially hundreds or thousands of orgs that they need to gain visibility into. We're going to be overhauling the switch list and access point list pages and summary tabs and the client list page. And this is going to continue to evolve and grow across the rest of dashboard. So what's the call to action? Why should you care about this? Well, this is where we're going. I know we said this is a roadmap free zone, but this is here now, and this is the future vision of dashboard. And we want to hear your feedback. We want to hear from you. We want to know the things that would make your life easier, that would make fixing problems more intuitive and more coherent. And you can opt in with the dashboard. So in the past, you might have had to opt into betas or early access programs by contacting support. We've actually added a net new page in dashboard. It's on the organization submenu, and it's called the early access program. So you can individually opt in to different early access capabilities on this page. And we encourage you to do that for the next generation of the Meraki dashboard. Dashboard has always been central to how we orchestrate and accomplish things here at Meraki, and we're going to continue to lean into that strength for Meraki, because we know that dashboard is how you're spending 90% of your time interacting with Meraki. So we're excited about that. All right, so we definitely built some extra time into this session by cutting down on the agenda a little bit. So we have some open questions. I've seen several questions that are kind of along the same lines. So I'm going to take an opportunity to just answer those directly right now. And the questions are around lead times, inventory, when certain products are going to be back in stock, et cetera. So the answer is, I'm not sure. For like, I think somebody put like, hey, when are you going to get like an MS-120, 24P in stock? And like, I could go look at the inventory document for you and figure that out. Maybe we'll connect offline. But the big takeaway is we're probably going to take another year until the inventory situation really stabilizes globally. So I feel your pain. I hear the long lead times. I personally have an order I've been trying to get some MXs for some things I'm trying to do, and it's been 9 months, right? So I feel the pain. We're doing everything we possibly can to get those orders shipped and those backlogged hardware SKUs out. It's just a matter of managing the macro economy and some of the constraints that we have in place. So thank you so much for your patience on that front, and just trust that we're doing everything possible to get those products into your hands as quickly and as effectively as possible. So I know that's not the answer probably you were hoping to hear, but that's truly the situation on the backside here at Meraki. All right, let me take a look over some questions here, see some unanswered. All right, okay, that's lead time. Anybody have any info on link aggregation on the MX? I don't know if we have any MX experts here. And by the way, if we don't answer any of your questions in this session, we can certainly follow up after the session if we don't have those experts on. Okay, BGP. Looks like there's some questions on BGP. My understanding is that we do support BGP on, or some form of BGP. Maybe there's like a specific use case you're talking about. I'd recommend checking out the documentation page, Mahesh. Oh, cellular providers name. Okay. Yeah, I'd recommend reaching out to your Meraki rep and connecting with their SE. All right. Thousand Eyes integration with MX is in public beta, or an upgrade to Meraki Insight Web App Health instead of RedX showing server down. It can show us. Sorry. So we're asking, the basic question is, I've seen some Thousand Eyes integrations with Meraki. When is that going to grow? When are we going to see more capabilities coming from that? So if you haven't noticed this, we do have a relatively new capability called Web App Health. And for those of you who have local internet breakout, taking advantage of, you know, a hubless architecture, Web App Health is really important for monitoring the real-time health of your internet connections. And that's all powered by Thousand Eyes. So I remember when I was at Cisco Live, anytime somebody saw that Thousand Eyes logo on dashboard, they like stopped me. They're like, show me that thing, show me that. So right now, it's just an initial step into Thousand Eyes integration, but certainly expect more and more of that telemetry and data visualization coming over from Thousand Eyes. I mean, this is the great part of being part of Cisco, is we don't have to develop all the things all the time. They've got all these other great solutions that we can just pull into the Meraki platform. So hopefully that answers your questions. Ricardo, I see a question about features available for the Mexican market. I'm assuming you're talking about, I'm just trying to figure out where in the session this happened. It's probably happened maybe during Pratik's and Samarbir's session. So maybe look at that. If we operate Catalyst switches in Meraki mode, do we lose access to CLI? Nicole, I think you touched on this, right? You still have CLI capabilities?
If you're monitoring, absolutely, you still have your CLI capabilities through however you're managing it on the back end. It's not managed by Meraki at that point. You're just seeing it, visualizing it in the Meraki dashboard.
Right. So it's just a way, like, you don't lose any of your traditional management capabilities, but it's just a way to dip your toes in the water of cloud management and to kind of see the benefits of that visibility in a location independent manner. Thanks, Nicole. Oh, Tomislav, important. Will you allow the dark theme on dashboard? White is too bright. Yes, you're preaching to the choir. This has been the #1 requested feature, and yes, the answer is yes. Dark mode is in progress and will be released. I'm not going to commit to a date because this is not a future-looking zone, but I know heavily the design team is working on it, and I have seen mock-ups. So the answer, Tomislav, is yes. After 1 year free monitoring license, what is a rough estimate per Catalyst? I don't know if we're at that point yet in terms of having price list amounts put together. I'll let anybody else chime in here if they want to, but I still think we're at the stage where we're just bringing over the visibility from Catalyst. I think the next phase of this will be kind of what you're talking about, which is let's develop a pricing schema, or what's the cost going to be. But let me tell you this, like the thrust of this is less to generate as much revenue as possible, and it's more to ease the transition that we know customers are being challenged with right now. So in that vein, we're not trying to just like, okay, buy this new license and you can get this. We're trying to give it to you so you can see the benefit without having to pay, without having to do a bunch of integration work. And then you can make a decision for yourself whether or not you want to invest further in that cloud path. So, you know, Cisco is not about pushing you to the cloud. It's about opening up that door should you want to explore or venture further.
Sure.
That's really what this is.
Hey, Jordan.
Shoot.
Yeah, so regarding license, I think the plan right now is for cloud monitoring, it's going to be available with the existing DNA licenses. And if you want to move to the Meraki management, the same licenses apply. And nothing's changing from that end. If we decide to change that in future, I think that will be communicated. So no changes there. I just wanted to reiterate that fact.
Thanks, Emil. Appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, Amin, looks like you're looking for more Meraki app capabilities on mobile. I know it's not the same experience as managing on your browser today, but I can tell you that from the cloud team, so this is a team that I'm pretty closely connected with, mobile is a big part of their strategy moving forward, because we know that, you know, everybody's spread out now and everybody's wants to have that mobility and flexibility to be wherever they are on any device that they want. So mobile is a big part of that strategy. So look forward in the next year for definitely more and more capabilities coming on the mobile side of the management plane for Meraki. All right, let me just see. I'm sure I'm missing some things. Can you confirm there's a new MX65? When will it be available? I'm assuming this is a question about kind of our entry-level SMB SD-WAN devices. So I know there was a 64 and 65 years ago. There's now a 67 and 68. So those, I think, usurped the 64 and 65. I'm not sure of anything moving forward. As I said, roadmap-free zone. But I would recommend checking out the 67 and 68. They've got more throughput. They've got integrated cellular, and they just rock. So check it out. Okay, Paula, I'm sorry I don't have any link ag stuff for you today. I'm going to have to follow up on that one. Okay, there will be a recording sent. Will they ever add upload speed to testing on MX? I'm sorry I don't have insight on that. I do not have insight on that. Lots of questions. Andre, can I opt in on a user-based level? I think the answer is no. It's a network-based opt-in. So you would opt in your individual networks, so you can't do worldwide. All right, I feel like I'm probably missing. Okay, so Marius asking for more granularity on filtering out by time. So you want to be able to go by hour, by the last 10 minutes, by the last 10 days. Okay, cool, good insight. I can pass that on to the product team for sure. I think that's most of the questions that we have. Am I missing anybody? Can my fellow panelists help surface any unanswered questions for me? I'd appreciate that. 5G
I'm noticing a few questions. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Nicole.
I'm just noticing a lot of questions about, hey, will this Catalyst model ever be supported? Will this ever be supported? And just to kind of blanket answer that, and I think we've already touched on it a couple of times. This call is not a roadmap discussion. Sorry, I know that's not a fun answer for you, but absolutely reach out to your Meraki reps, and they would love to discuss roadmap with you on a more personal private phone call that talks about what you're doing and what we're doing. And but just understand that the announcement that was made at Cisco Live was just the starting point. So absolutely stay tuned. But serious in-depth information can be discussed with your Meraki rep.
Thanks, Nicole. And I guess the same answer would go for, are you planning on releasing 5G for MG? The answer is, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. So that being said, 5G is critically important. So you better believe that we're aware of it and we're planning for it. And it's good to see that there's demand out there for 5G cellular backup. That's kind of the future of cellular backup for sure, or even as a primary connection strategy. Okay, what other questions do we have?
Jordan, I want to take this opportunity to talk about a few questions that I saw in the Q&A regarding the APs. I just want to reiterate, I've tried answering those in the panel, but I just want to reiterate. The new CW APs come in two flavors. One, which can directly connect to Meraki dashboard, and the other one that can, on boot up, looks for a controller. The way you order these is, let's take the CW9166, CW9166I-MR. The -MR denotes what the AP will do out of box at boot up. A -MR will boot up and directly connect to Meraki dashboard, just like any other MR AP today, MR57, MR36. If you order a dash B, E, R, O, W, it will behave just like a Catalyst AP where it will look for a controller. These APs are dual boot. So what that means is, depending on which management mode they boot up in, whether it be Meraki or DNA, the respective firmwares are running on it, and the features and functionality are tied to those respected firmwares that they are running. So if a device is connecting to a controller, that same feature set is available. But if that AP is connected to Meraki dashboard, the feature sets available with dashboard are available. What that means also is, do not mix and match, because there are two different firmwares running. Things like roaming will not work together. So I would say if you're deploying a network, keep it limited to a single management mode, and do not mix that. Now, as far as supply chain goes, I think all products have supply chain issues across the industries, and so do Meraki APs. What we do have is some of the CW APs are in stock right now while supplies last. So if you want to evaluate that, please go ahead. But supply chain restrictions or issues are being faced across the industry. And once our supplies get exhausted, I think the CW series will also see some higher lead times. We're trying our best to get the lead times reduced, but it's been challenging. And I think it is going to continue being challenging for the next 6 to 12 months at least.
Thanks for the insights, Samil. And yeah, again, folks, apologies for the product challenges. I know it's an industry-wide thing, but we still know that you're going through pain right now, and just trust that we're doing everything we possibly can, and we appreciate you. Okay. I think most of the non-forward-looking questions have been asked. Patty's asking about a WebEx integration. We can't comment on the future AnyConnect features. Yeah, so I think most of the non-roadmap type questions have been covered. I guess with that, we can probably end a little bit early. We will be sending out this as a recording. I believe we sent out the slides as well, so stay tuned for that. And again, we will be supplementing this Meraki Quarterly with screencasts across various different products and areas of the business that will give you more in-depth. So if you were here to see a systems manager update or some specific part of the portfolio, then the screencast is where you can check to see if there's any meaningful updates on that particular area of the portfolio. It's been a great session. We will be back again next quarter, and we really thank you for being Meraki customers and continuing to support, evangelize, and join us on these calls. Thank you so much. Speak to you next time. Bye.
Hello, welcome to Meraki headquarters in San Francisco, California. Thanks for watching the Meraki Quarterly recording. We hope you found that useful and informative. You told us in a survey we ran back in April that we had just too much material in the quarterly, and I completely understand that. Our portfolio has grown, the number of updates we have to share with you every quarter has grown, and so we decided to take a different approach this time. Obviously, we have the live event as we've always had with the Q&A session in there, but we decided to add in some additional material that you're now going to get to watch. So these are screencasts that our product marketing team have put together for us, and for the first of those, I'm going to hand things over to George.
Hey everyone, I'm George, the product marketing manager for our Systems Manager product line, here to give a quick update and announcement on some exciting new features and optimizations for macOS device deployments with Systems Manager. Today we'll be reviewing 3 key updates: a brand new automated device enrollment interface that allows for easier configurations for macOS accounts, new package provisioning features, and significant Apple Silicon improvements. Okay. To start, we now have a brand new automated device enrollment interface with a modernized new look. The new interface comes with an assortment of additional options to increase user functionality. For example, users will now be able to configure local accounts on macOS, pre-fill Systems Manager owner details, hide and or manage admin accounts, and lock end user account information to prevent editing. Additionally, users will now be able to dynamically pre-fill macOS accounts from the SM owner set and dashboard. Another key feature is updated package provisioning for SM. Users will now be able to add signed packages to devices prior to macOS Setup Assistant, so that uploaded critical company applications or essential setup scripts are pre-provisioned and ready for the end user. The final key update is the significant improvements we've made for Systems Manager for Apple Silicon. An assortment of mobile device management commands have been added for Silicon Macs, including automatically escrowed bootstrap tokens for new enrollments and added commands for both OS updates and kernel extensions. Additionally, Apple Silicon native support has now been added in the Systems Manager agent for all versions 3.5 and newer, meaning no additional configuration is needed, and users will no longer be required to have Rosetta 2 installed to run the SM agent. In terms of next steps, feel free to explore more about our Systems Manager mobile device management solution and the innovative ways we are constantly improving at our website. Thank you for your time.
The signature Meraki simple and intelligent way to configure local internet breakout, you're in the right place. First, what actually is local internet breakout and why might you need to use it? Well, local internet breakout simply breaks out traffic from a location such as a branch from a backhauled architecture and instead allows it to directly access the internet. This sounds simple enough, sure, but actually there is one particular nuance that makes this slightly challenging. Typically, you'll want to break out traffic locally to improve performance of a SaaS application, such as Office 365, for example. So you might think that all you need to do is go ahead and define the IPs for Office 365 and you're done. Well, kind of true, but that would be great if Office 365 IPs didn't periodically change. So how does Meraki solve for this? Well, let's take a look. So over here, I'm in a demo network, which has a few locations around the world. Let's dive into one of these and take a look at how we can do local internet breakout with Meraki. So let me go to this San Francisco location, security and SD-WAN, configure SD-WAN traffic shaping. So here we are on the SD-WAN traffic shaping page. All of this will look familiar to you. However, if we scroll down here, we've got uplink selection, great SD-WAN policies. So here, something might seem new, internet traffic. So we can now create SD-WAN policies for internet traffic. Now we can do custom expressions. So I can add a custom expression for internet traffic here. And I can do this by selecting or defining a protocol, TCP, UDP, any source port, destination port, policy, whether I want it to use WAN 1, WAN 2, best for VoIP, if I want to load balance across the two uplinks I have, or apply a global preference. And then I can go ahead and actually also choose my failover criteria. So I can failover if performance is poor. And how do we know if performance is poor? Well, it's going to go ahead and check against the thresholds you've set in the performance classes here. Or you can just say if the uplink is down. Great. This is a way to kind of break out traffic if you know it's going to go to a static location or an IP that's not, a destination that's not going to change. Great. But what about those SaaS applications that we were talking about earlier on, something like Office 365, where the IP addresses are changing? Well, we've got a solution for that as well. We've built that right in, taking away the headache of having to keep continually monitoring those IP addresses. So I can come into here, major applications, and add a preference. So again, I can choose a protocol, TCP, UDP, or any source port destination. Now, destination is different because I have now a drop-down pre-populated list of the top 10 major applications. You can see Office 365 suite is in there, SharePoint, Skype and Teams, AWS, Oracle, WebEx, Zoom, Salesforce, and SAP. So let's say, for example, we want to go ahead and break out Office 365 locally at this particular branch location. We can go ahead and select that, and then I can apply a policy. Which uplink do I prefer for this? WAN 1, WAN 2, do I want to choose whichever one is best for VoIP, load balance, or again, apply a global preference? Let's say, for example, WAN 1, I have a deal with my ISP, SLA is guaranteed on that. Let's go ahead and choose WAN 1. But I do want it to fail over to another uplink if the performance is poor. Now I can go ahead and select performance poor, and I can go ahead and apply a performance class, either anything that we've got built in already, these are examples, or you can go ahead and add your own performance class for Office 365, give it a maximum latency you feel is acceptable for you, jitter, as well as maximum loss. So really, it's as simple as that. And this is actually available, local internet breakout for major applications is available on MX17 firmware, which is now in RC, so check it out. Thanks for listening.
Hello, I'm Lola, the Product Marketing Manager for MV Cameras. Let's walk through IoT, focusing on our MT sensors and MV cameras, and updates on the platform. You might already be familiar with MT12, our cloud-managed water leak detection sensor. Now, to fit more deployment needs, you can choose between the 8-foot leak detection cable or the spot leak detection cradle. The cable is best to cover large areas, like around the perimeter of a network rack. The new detection cradle is perfect for detecting leaks in a more precise location, like under a sink or problematic area. To make it easier to get exactly and only what you need, MT12 no longer includes an accessory. To reflect this change, the list price for the MT12 has also been reduced. We've also been busy making changes to how MT looks on the dashboard. We've added a lot of features and functionality since we launched a couple years ago, and it was time to revisit the navigation. MT has been renamed from environmental to sensors on the left side navigation, and the menu now includes monitor and configure options. This should make navigation more intuitive, making it faster and easier for you to get where you need to be. Let's switch gears to MV cameras, focusing on the Vision portal. We hope it's already your go-to for your physical security needs, and we are now introducing the multi-network video wall. You can now create video walls across different networks in your organization, giving you greater visibility to monitor on one screen without having to switch between video walls. In organizations with different locations, monitoring footage can now be done more efficiently. And what's more, you can create the video walls directly in the Vision portal. In the multi-network video walls, you can opt to view network time zones specific to each camera on the wall for situational insight. If your organization has the MV32, our fisheye camera, you can choose the view that best suits your needs. The default 360 degree, a preset dewarped views, or custom to a dewarped view that is best suited for your needs. And once the video wall is created, easily configure the camera size as shown on the video wall. Do note that this feature is currently in beta. We are excited to roll this out and encourage feedback as you use it. For steps on how to create multi-network video walls and permission levels to manage this feature, see the links at the end of this presentation. And more notable improvements on the Vision portal. If your organization is currently using the fisheye camera or looking to deploy, the dewarp zoom has now increased by 3 times the former maximum zoom, which makes it easier to identify and address what's in the footage. And in line with creating more efficiency in using the Vision portal is a new update to the video wall. When in the video wall mode, you can click a camera footage to go into the peak view, with one camera taking up the full screen real estate. To get back into the video wall mode, simply click anywhere on the screen. It's easy, and in a step, you're back into the workflow. Thank you for taking some time to learn about what we're doing here on the IoT team. Stay connected through our Meraki community, and we encourage and welcome feedback, which can be made directly on the Vision portal.
Hey everyone, I'm Miriam, the Product Marketing Manager for Meraki Go, and I wanted to introduce some brand new hardware that we have from our Meraki Go family. So we've got the new Router Firewall Plus, or GX50, and it just launched this past month. So some of you may be wondering, well, what is Meraki Go and how does this differ from Cisco Meraki? We get this question a lot. So to give you guys a brief overview of Meraki Go, it launched back in 2018, so about 4 years ago, as a complete cloud-managed IT solution for small business owners. It's intended to be very DIY, so easy for you to set it up yourself in less than 10 minutes, and it's easily managed through the mobile app or our web portal. And as you can see here, we've got an entire IT portfolio of access points, switches, and combination router firewalls. And most importantly, a feature that our customers love is that it's our most affordable and simplified IT solution. So there's no licensing or subscription fees. One quick call out is that it does not interoperate with our Cisco Meraki line of products. So it is a completely different system, completely different line of products. If you've got a lot of locations, a much bigger IT team, or if you need a lot more management features and APIs, that's when we would recommend the Cisco Meraki Enterprise line of products. All right, so let's jump into some of the juicier bits. What is this new GX50 Router Firewall Plus all about? So we launched this due to popular demand. It's our newest router firewall, and it's got features like VPN for your remote workers to stay productive, as well as over 500 megabits per second of firewall throughput. So that's over double the throughput of our original GX20 router firewall. And what you're looking at here is its interface. So there's one WAN port to connect to your existing modem, or you can connect directly to fiber internet, 4 LAN ports, and then one handy USB port if you need to charge any of your devices. It's got all of the same security features as our GX20 router firewall security device. And just to look at some of those features and highlights, so again, it's a combination all-in-one stateful firewall and router for both security and for your productivity. It's got built-in enterprise security from Cisco. And you can do things like you can log websites per user or per network. You can check your internet usage in real time. And you can also segment your traffic into separate networks using VLANs. So this helps you increase both your network security as well as PCI compliance. And again, you can remotely manage everything through the app or web portal. You don't have to be on site or physically in the office to make changes or monitor your networks. And then quickly to recap again what you get with the GX50. So first, again, you can allow your remote workers or hybrid workers to be able to VPN into your corporate and company networks. That continues to be top of mind for most of our customer base. Secondly, you can get more productivity. We have much higher throughput, so that helps your small business to stay productive. And then third, you get all of the same powerful enterprise security firewall features as before. So if you're interested, you can learn more on our Meraki Go website. It's merakigo.com, and it's also available for purchase on Amazon. So Meraki Go is available globally. If you're based in the US, in Europe, or Japan, you can purchase it there at amazon.com/MerakiGo, or through any of our Meraki partners, which you can also find on our website. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us. So it's merakigo@cisco.com. Just shoot us a note and we'll be more than happy to help you out. The very last thing I'll leave you guys with is a quick 15-second teaser reel of the GX50. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.
Welcome back. We hope you found those screencasts useful and informative, on top of course, the live event that we shared with you earlier. And this is the first time that we're taking this approach of just adding additional material, because we have so much to cover with you every 3 months. We want to make sure this is working for you. So let me know your thoughts. You can find me on Twitter. My handle there is @MerakiSimon. And you can also find me in the Meraki community. Let me know what you think, and we'll be back in 3 months with another Meraki Quarterly. Bye for now.